We love it. We love it. All right, so as we get ready here, I have some things to talk about. If you have two foam blocks, let's have them near us. If you do not have them, this is going to be for a supported warrior 3, where I could have my hands on blocks. If I didn't have them, I could put my hands on a wall. So either a wall or blocks will do for that. That's much later in our program. All right, so I'm going to come down and let us settle ourselves down on the mat. I do like to, when I'm coming from seated to lying down, I want to reach my arms, so I'm really using my core to control my descent, what we call teaser. And then I can settle down and settle my upper body down, lengthen my spine underneath me. I can keep my knees bent for now. And let's come into our breath. Gradually deepening your breath, just start kind of wakening up the whole core all the way around. Beautiful. Let us begin to prepare to come into the 100, which is our warm-up exercise. And you have a few options for positions for the 100 as you realize. So you can just keep your head down on the ground and lift your legs to tabletop and reach your arms. Or you can elevate your head, bringing your nose towards your sternum. And your legs can be in tabletop, or your legs can be at 45 degrees. So those are your options. I'll probably show a few things in my own body. So let's us get ready to go. I'm going to count you into your starting position. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 3, 4, 5. 3, 5. Inhale. 3, 4, 5. X. 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 3, 4, 5. X. 4, 5. Inhale. 4, 5. X. 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 3, 4, 5. X. 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 3, 4, 5. Inhale. 3, 4, 5. Exhale. 3, 4, 5. Last in. Elation. Last X. Elation. Take it on down. Lower yourself to the mat. Hug your knees in. Maybe rock your sacrum. Maybe rock your head from side to side. Beautiful. I'm going to make sure I've got enough room here. So I'm going to stretch out my legs and go ahead and Point and flex. Your legs are hugging the midline. Your spine is nice and long underneath you. You're going to get ready for a roll up. Reach your arms down by your side and point your toes. And then as you flex your toes, float your arms up. Position number one, I'm right above my chest. My palms are facing each other. My feet are flexed. So the whole lower body is going to work in opposition of the movement. And intermediate level, I could take my arms up to a 45-degree angle. So those are my two options for my arms. Let's have a deep inhalation in preparation. Scooping exhalation. Inhale, head and shoulders. Exhale, come through your arms as you come all the way up, if that's available to you. Inhale to descend. Exhale, articulate your spine into the mat. And you're at your starting position again. We've got 9 more. Drawing the abdominals up and in. And use your breath the whole way. There's 2 breath cycles in the motion. One more. There you are. You can knock the water bottles over, not circling arms around. Arms are right down by your side. Again, I like to just make sure my tailbone is nice and long. Feel supported in the core here. We're going to come into, relax your feet. We're going to come into single leg stretch. So in preparation, I'm going to flex my left foot, really reach my heel away. This is going to be supporting me this whole way here. And then I'm going to float my right leg up, and maybe I want to be perpendicular or 90 degrees. Maybe I have a bend in my knee, that's okay. Let's point the toe. So wherever it is for me is fine. And then really settle both hips down so the hips are together and settled down, working with the box that is topped by your shoulders. And we're going to do single leg circles. So I'm going to pull my leg up, cross to the opposite edge of my mat and make a circle and continue just like that with an accent up when I come around. 5. 1 more. And come back to the starting position. Now I'm going to drop cross and accent up and take it in the opposite direction. Hips are very stable underneath. And you're massaging the hip joint with this motion. All right, draw this right knee into your chest. Stretch the other leg away. Lengthen your right leg back up. Point your left toes, and then scissor to transition. When your right heel hits the ground, you can flex the right foot, really stabilize your box underneath you. You're ready to make your circles, very still in the hip, feeling this massaging action in the hip joint. 5 and 5. Ready to go the other way. Really push the heel away. Feel stable with this opposition action of the right leg. And hug the left knee and stretch the right leg away. And point both toes, and we'll just half scissor down. All right, great. Our next action is a choice of rolling like a ball or camel. So hug your knees in, put your fingers underneath your knee creases, and just roll yourself up. And so from here, if you're going to do camel, you can come into camel. I'm going to demonstrate rolling like a ball. And I'm doing the intermediate version of it. So my feet are on the ground. I'm sitting up nice and tall. My hands are on my shins, and then I'm gonna come balance on my sit bones. So my feet are in the air, and I'm gonna make a little V. So pull my heels together and flex my feet. Drop my head. My knees are hip width, shoulder width. I'm dropping my head, and I'm gonna roll back and roll up again. And there's your action. So take what you're taking right now, camel or rolling like a ball. And 2 more. Beautiful. So come around to be seated if you were in camel. And I've got my feet on the mat. I'm going to reach my arms. So once again, using this teaser idea, really supported strong core is how I'm going to lower myself down to the ground. Then I'm going to pull my knees in. We're coming into the 5 and really settle my upper body down. Long spine underneath me. We've got single leg stretch first. So let's have a deep inhale to prepare. Scooping exhale. Inhale into your position, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So your head can stay down or it can be elevated. Exhale, pull knee in, reach the other leg away 45 degrees. Inhale to transition, exhale, second side. So keep going just like that. So your nose is towards your sternum if your head is up. If your head is down, your head is down. So you can take whichever works for you. You always want to be in your body. Couple more. Beautiful. And come on down to the ground. Really settle yourself down there. Feel really secure. The box that is your shoulders and your hips. Double leg stretches next. Deep inhale on the ground. Scooping exhale. Inhale again. And then we'll exhale into position 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So your head is up or your head is still on the ground, your choice. Inhale, stretch out arms and legs. Exhale, circle back around and crunch it in. Two more. And everything down. Scissors are next. So I'm going to straighten legs. And again, it's 90 degrees, but if I need a bend, I can have a bend. And today, let's point our toes. And your legs are hip width apart. And let's have a deep inhale in preparation. Scooping exhale. Inhale up into position, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, I'm going to pull in for 2. And inhale and exhale, pull in for 2. And inhale, and I can completely drop to this 45-degree angle if I like this extra action with the legs. Down, really settle down. Let's take a little break here. Roll my nose around, turn my head all the way to the left as far as it'll go. And then gently come back to center and roll my nose and turn my head around as far as it'll go to the right. Just noticing what you notice. I'm tighter on the right than the left. Coming back to center. We've got options for this lower lip, which is next. I can have a V under that I place under my sacrum, whether if my head is up or my head is down, I can make that choice. Or I can palm over palm, hold my head in my hands. So that's the other option. Elbows would be wide. So take the position you would like to take for lower leg. And we will have an inhalation here. Scooping exhale. Inhale up, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And with the legs are up. Okay, and then exhale. Inhale, lower in 3. Exhale, pop up in 1. Good, good, good. Got 2 more. And everything comes in for starters. And we've got crisscross today. Let's do the lengthened version of crisscross. So I'm going to stretch out my legs and put one hand over the other hand behind my head. Elbows are going to be wide and they're going to stay wide. Let's inhale deeply on the ground. Scooping exhale. Inhale in preparation. When I exhale, I'm going to lift myself up, trying to connect my elbow to my knee or even my armpit to my knee. I'm going to inhale to come down. I'm going to exhale and come up the other side. And have this notion that I'm pulling the opposite elbow away. So I don't want to crunch the elbow in. I want to keep it away. I'll show it on this side too. So inhale and then exhale. So I don't want to crunch in. I want to keep this elbow wide. Keep that going. Perfect. Stretch everything out, maybe wiggle a little bit. Let's use a roll up to take us up for spine stretch forward. So flex your feet, bring your arms up. And then you're going to inhale, head and shoulders, exhale, and sit all the way up and find your nice tall stance. So 2 options for spine stretch forward. Perhaps I like to put the soles of my feet together and let my knees flounce open and I'm sitting up nice and tall. Or I'm putting my feet on either side of my mat so I can lift my mat up in between. And if I'm in this position, my feet are flexed. So taking the position that you like, your shoulders are right above your hips. And let's bring these arms up. Arm bones in the socket. I'm shoulder width and shoulder height. Let's inhale and grow taller. Then I'm going to exhale and I'm going to scoop my whole core up and in as I go over. And I can go all the way over, I can go less. And again, I'm going to do what works best in my body here. Inhaling tall and exhale. Take it into your C curve. And inhale up. So we're just very subtle manipulation of the core tissues here. Very concentrated, simple gesture that's very effective. That's my exhale. Here's my inhale to grow taller. Let's take two more. Ah, nice and tall you are. We will get organized to lower for corkscrews. So I do need to move down my mat a little bit. Once again, I want to use kind of this teaser idea. So I'm in complete control of my core as I lower myself down and settle my upper body down, arms down by my side, or I could tee my arms out. My whole upper body is going to be on the ground for this whole corkscrew. Then I'm going to bring my legs are going to be perpendicular or 90 degrees. So maybe my knees are bent, maybe my legs are straight. Let's point the toes and pull the heels together. So the legs are definitely hugging the midline here. Let's have a deep inhale for preparation. Scooping exhale. Now, let's bring our feet towards our head. And then with the hips stable, you're going to circle left and circle right and come back to center. Come towards your head, circle right, circle left, come back to center. And you can continue like that, or you could roll up a few vertebrae and lower down and do your circle and circle, so one way and then the other way, or you can roll all the way the sacrum completely off the ground and come down and circle. So there's three options for corkscrew. So as ever, you're going to do the option that suits your body. You feel. Let's have one more complete set. So you're going to go one way and then you'll go the other way. Beautiful. Bending those knees in. We will roll up for saw. So I'm going to put my fingers underneath my knee creases and rock myself up. Look at saw coming up. So let's turn to the long edge of the mat. And you're making the V of your choice, bringing those feet up into a flex and then teeing those arms out, arm bones in the socket, and then grow nice and tall. And then I'm going to twist. I'm going to slice for one, for two, for three. I'm going to lift all the way up and twist and slice for one and two and three. So feel the twist. So the shoulders and the rib cage and the waist turn. Two. And the same hip as the arm stays down, right? So this hip stays down as opposed to rolling up. You're going to feel the opposition of the hip to the twist. We've got two more. All the way around to prone. So on my belly. And let's have the hands underneath my shoulders. And go ahead and turn your head to the side and just untuck the toes and just really relax here. Maybe rock a little bit. And then getting ready for action, have this feeling that you're hugging your legs into the midline and really feel where your hips anchor you to the mat. Because even we're going to lift the upper body up, but the hips will stay anchored. So the core will lift up from the anchoring of the hips on the mat. And so let's, ready for action, take your arm into the socket, so your head is now floating in line with your spine, but you're a little bit off the mat. Your hands are down on the mat. So we're going to do the full Pilates intermediate version, which is called Swan Dive. So what I'm going to do is lift your hands off the mat and then come part way up. So you're coming up as high as you can without your hands. Then put your hands down and push yourself further up. Your elbows stay into your body. You can come as high as I am, or you don't have to come quite this high. It's a back bend. And then you're going to lower yourself all the way down. So once again, hands are off the mat. I lift part way up. Really feel how your core lifts you. Put your hands down and then lift the rest of the way up. And all the way down. We'll keep going just like that. Again, the legs are staying, hugging in. Hips are anchoring, really supporting the action here. We've got 2 more of these. And you can lower yourself all the way down. Let's go back to a child's pose or rest pose for a break, or take whatever pose suits you for just a little respite, a couple of cycles of breath respite in between. And then when we come forward, we're going to end up on our elbows. So our elbows are right underneath our shoulders. Our hips are still really anchored. And I have 2 little light fists here. So feel how your core is elevating up and out of the hip. And your shoulders are drawing back. So you're really supported in the upper body. Keep all of that. We'll do single leg kick. So I'm going to kick, right and lengthen, kick, left and lengthen. So there's the beginning pattern. So really just establish that pattern. And then when you're happy with the pattern, you can go a little quicker. So there's a little more of a scissoring action by each other. If you'd like to, you don't have to. It's an option. One more. All right, lengthen everything out. So we're going to come into double leg kick next. So I'm going to lower myself down to the ground. I'm going to turn my cheek, put one hand on my back palm up, put the other hand inside of that hand. It's as high on my back as comfortable for me, and I drop my elbows. There's my setup. Legs are hugging the midline once again. I'm going to kick both legs together 3 times. So I'm going to kick. When I lengthen, I'm going to lift my body up, reach back behind me, look forward, and then I'm going to transition to the second side and lower down. And kick for 2, for 3. I'm up and reaching and transitioning and lift and switch. Let's take one more to the other side. And reach out, just now relax everything for a moment and just shake. All right, we're getting ready to come for our side series. So I'm going to roll onto one side, and I'm going to make a line with my body along the outer edge of my mat, the back edge of my mat. And each Thursday, so on Thursday, we bend our bottom leg to 90 degrees. And this hand can support me here or be on my hip or be behind my head. So whatever I need for this top arm. And I'm here or I'm here with the bottom arm. So lift my leg up to hip height. And I'm going to pull that knee into my face and kick it away. There's your action. The quadratus lumborum, big strengthener for a key pillar of support of the spine. Big part of our core. We sometimes don't think of the core muscles in our back, but they are just as important as the core muscles in the front. So the front gets this fancy name, six pack. The back doesn't have a fancy name like six pack, but it's really key and important. Maybe we should invent a name. More. All right, lengthen out. So what I want to do, we're gonna have a two-parter here. I want to really feel like my waist is really long, my hip is really balanced over my other hip, and my toe is reaching far and away. And I'm going to come halfway up, and about here, I really feel this muscle, glute medius really firing, and I'm going to lower down. And then I'm going to just blast through that spot for the second position. So I've got two positions I'm going to take in this gesture. Good, good. Really reaching out and away. I got two more. All right, let's bring the knees together and the feet together. The hip is right up in the air. I'm going to clamshell. So I'm going to open my knee, but I don't want to move this hip at all. So I'm not trying to open out like that, right? So that where the hip is the backstop of how far this knee can come up. Okay, that was 10 with no warning. All right, let's stretch the legs out on a little bit of a diagonal. And we're going to do this nice, the really challenging one that I love to see. So I'm lifting my top leg up some amount, and then I'm going to lift the bottom leg to meet the top leg. So I could be a little bit lower, I could be a little bit higher, right? I'm going to reach the bottom leg up and meet the top leg. That's my ambition. Without rolling back on my hip. I'm adding challenge by having this arm in the air. Two more, one more. All right, let everything come down. So lots of work we just did, got involved with the glutes. Let's bring the leg forward, either like this, or I can grab this ankle. Bottom leg's going to come up and down now. Two more, one more. Flex it, little circles here. 6, 7, 8, change direction. 6, 7, 8. Great. Lengthen your legs. So my legs are a little bit on a diagonal forward. We're going to do a big finish, and we're going to do big what we call big circles for the big finish. So I'm actually going to lay myself completely down. So I'm really trying to be as stable as I can be with the upper body, because it's going to be a big movement with the lower body. I'm going to swing my leg forward, take it up in the air, take it back behind me, and then come back around. So we're going to go 5 and 5. So 2, big circles, 4, 5. Now take it back, take it around. 1. Really stable in the core. 3. All right, stretch everything out. We have our second side to attend to, so come around. Sometimes a sip of water is nice. Finding that outer edge of your mat, stretch out. Comparable position to side 1, bending the bottom leg 90 degrees. This leg is coming up hip height, and I'm going to pull that knee in and then kick it away. So this is working QL, which is a muscle on either side of the spine in the lower back. And it's one of our mindful muscles that you probably don't know about unless for some reason it was hurting you. It doesn't speak very loudly otherwise. Two more. Beautiful, laying it down. So same thing, lengthen this waist, pull the hip away, like you're gonna draw with chalk on the outside wall away from you. And you're gonna feel this glute med as you come up. When it really fires, you can lower it down. And then the second time, just blast through that sensation. So awareness. Reaching away. Let's have two more. Chew, whop, chew, whop. All right, knees are together, feet are together. Let's clamshell. So this whole side series is, still very oriented to the work of the core. So the core is very still supporting the work of the leg, but there's a lot going on with our glute. And sort of posterior chain in general, everything in the back. Two more after that. Great. Let's lengthen our legs out on a diagonal. Lift this leg, be kind of comparable to where you were on side one. And then we're gonna lift and lower the bottom leg. I had a moment where I almost forgot what we were doing. I remembered. That's enough of that. Let's bring this top leg forward, either like this or like this, whatever I prefer, bottom leg up and down. Or select it, little circles here. 6, 7, 8, change direction. 6, 7, 8, beautiful. Stretch everything out, feet forward a little bit on a diagonal. We're gonna do the big circles again on this side. So I'm pulling to the front, lifting up in the air, dropping back behind me, and then coming around again. And then let's go the other way, change direction. Beautiful, stretch everything out. We will meet up on our backs. I will do a slight time check. Ooh, I must have gone a little bit slower today. So let's be on our back and have your knees bent. So you're aiming for your heels to be under your knees or where you can really feel them. Arms down by your side. And we're gonna do bridge. And let's do bridge with a pelvic tilt. So, and I do like to cue it with the breath. So what I'm gonna do is just inhale here, regular. Then when you exhale, pull your belly button to the floor and into a pelvic tilt, and then keep going up, still exhale. And then when you inhale, articulate bone by bone down into the mat. So take yourself down slowly, so you're articulating each bone into the mat. And at the bottom, you release that pelvic tilt. And then you go again with an exhale. Nice and gentle and full. One more just like that. All right, so now let's do the single-legged bridge. We haven't done it in a little bit, so I'm going to take the figure 4 bridge. So I'm going to take my right ankle and put it on my left knee, and I'm trying to open and externally rotate my right knee. All right, so it looks like this. And maybe I take my left foot in the center a little bit because my left foot alone is going to support me in this bridge. My arms can be down by my side, or I can tee out wherever I feel the most secure. And then I'm going to push my hips up, keeping my hips even, and lower them down. I'm not going up anywhere near as high as I did with the full bridge. Keep doing that. So you're trying to keep your hips square so that I'll do it wrong. So I'm not kind of trying to come up lopsided. I'm trying to keep my hips really square. A couple more. Come on down, and we can, I'll give you a different view. And now my left ankle's on my right knee. I'm trying to externally rotate the left leg, right? So I don't want to be creeping this knee in. I want it to stay out. Maybe my right foot moves into center a little bit. Arms where I want my arms to be. And I'm going to come up and down with these square hips. If there were flashlights on my hips, they'd be aiming straight up. If there were flashlights on my shoulder, everything would be in a line. One more after that. Great. Hug in. We're going to rock up. Let's come all the way up to standing. Because I have this ambition today, even as I run out of time. All right. Well, we'll take my ambition even as I run out of time. So we are going to come into a warrior 3, right? Which is the balance pose when I lift one leg. And if you've got 2 blocks, they can be on your mat and they're about shoulder width apart and they're at the highest level. And if I need to use my wall, I can use my wall. All right. And I'm going to, let's start balancing on the right leg first. I've got that idea of the shoulder, the box that is my hips and my shoulders aimed forward towards the short edge of my mat. So let's inhale and grow really tall. And then I'm going to exhale and it's going to take me over. And again, my hands are either on the wall or they're on the blocks. And I want to keep my hips really square. So I'm lifting the back of my left. So this is my right leg is, I'm standing on my right leg, the left leg's in the air. I'm lifting the left thigh up into the air. And just find your balance first. Be comfortable first. Your shoulders are squared with your hips. And then we're going to try some calf raises. So I'm going to lift and lower my right heel in this balance. So I'm supported, so that makes it a little bit easier. Again, my hands could be on my wall. I'll demonstrate that on side 2. And 2 more of these. Beautiful. Then take your leg down. You can come on up. Shake everything out. I want to demonstrate this on the wall in case that's what you've got going on for you. So for my second side, I'm going to balance on my left leg, take my right leg up in the air. So I'm going to come forward. So I'm a little bit higher if I'm on the wall, but I'm still squaring the hip, right? So here's the hip open, here's the hip square, so it's still square. And square the shoulders. And then I'm trying to lift and lower this heel. You might see less action from me on this side because this is a little injury. You've got see my KT tape. I'm a little injured on this side. This is very good for me to try to do this, but I get less action on this side, but I'm doing it. Beautiful. Then you can get yourself standing up. And as I run out of time, I am out of time, but let's do our normal stretch. My right arm is down, my left arm's up. I'm not mirroring you. I'm going to drop my head towards the right. And I'm gonna slide down my leg and do a side stretch, really planting my right foot. So I've got opposition to this side stretch. Let me inhale up and switch it. Drop my head, slide the other way. Thanks, everybody. Mucho, mucho. I can cease the video.